The cool thing about SpiderMan, like he didn't ask for his powers.
They were placed upon him.
You. And on top of it, he was like a high school kid and he's like super lanky and like he gets stuff wrong and like it was just accessible. And also, he was always hot. Tobey Maguire.
Hello friends, welcome back to our shared channel. Today, we are sharing our channel with our longtime friend and YouTube, guru.
Oh.
Guru, well actually no, you're like a recovering guru.
Yeah.
We're calling her guru.
I'm a recovering guru. I have a podcast.
She's an actress, she's a baker, she's a podcaster, she's a writer, she's a fashion designer, some would say.
She does all of the things. This is Meghan Rienks.
Meghan Rienks.
Formerly known as Megan Rosette.
Okay, well, now since Lisa said it, you had to tell you. Fine.
So here's the crazy thing. We, in case you can't tell, have known Megan for a long time. We actually just came back from a Parisian trip together.
Ooh, baby.
Basically, if you're unfamiliar with the saga, Megan was the beauty guru we hired to host our makeup show, and I was the one producing the makeup show. None of it really made sense, but we kept making it for a while until then somehow it transformed into Beauty Break, and then we all just were on it making fools of ourselves.
Exactly.
It was a good time.
She would finish one of the looks, and she would like look off camera and be like, kind of like, "Mom, is it okay?"
It was
and
very
she'd
much like,
look at me, and I'd be like,
I guess.
I'd be like, I don't know what else to tell you to do.
But the crazy thing was, there was a video where you were recreating Elsa's look. And that was the moment when I was like, she's funny. Just let her do other things.
I just remember that was the, like one of the Frozen ones we did, you sang a lot, and I left a lot of it in.
You gave me a wand.
All my life has been a series of doors in my face.
You gave me props?
Like that's the kind of stuff that I like had time to do back then.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Something weird I could buy for Megan. I was buying her like bubble wand things. I remember that went up and it did so well, and we were like, well, I guess everything we do from now on just has to be Frozen themed.
And I was here for it.
And you were thrilled.
I was like, I love Elsa, I love Anna, I love Kristoff. Like,
Still haven't
Olaf,
seen Frozen.
That
That is a perfect segue
It's a
into
perfect
question
segue.
number one that we start off the show with every single time.
who is the cartoon that I, Sexual Awakening.
Yes. Megan, have you watched this little show
I
called
appreciate
Overshare?
that.
The question is, what cartoon character you as a child had some sort of sexual awakening or crush
Okay.
on
More
when you were a
innocently,
kid? More
yeah.
innocently, obviously.
And I know you had one. You're not going to judge us.
No, not at all. So I do identify with teenage Simba, 100%.
So hot,
Like, teenage
right?
Simba can get it.
For sure.
That phrase needs to die.
No, it doesn't. I like
Joslyn's
it.
really embraced it the last
Yeah.
couple
Oh,
weeks.
the amount of
I
times I've said Al Gore can get it is in fact because
Al Gore?
Al Gore was one of my childhood crushes. I didn't have
Is
like
it because of
kids.
all the work he's doing to save the earth or
Yeah,
something
and I just
else?
like, daddy, But I was like younger and I thought he was just like
Okay.
Is he a zaddy or a daddy?
Oh, I don't.
I don't know if I feel like that now, but when I was a kid, he was just like
Even
he had
stranger.
such a nice voice,
So you're a cartoon.
there was some hot animal in the Jungle Book.
Oh, was it Baloo?
Fox Robin Hood can also get it. Like, can
What
also
about,
fucking
okay, here's
get
a
it.
question that might be controversial because I don't know if you've seen the live action Aladdin. I personally almost have more of a crush
Abu?
on Aladdin, like the animated character,
Yeah.
than real human Aladdin. What are your thoughts?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either,
But
so
I
I
think
can't.
that
I can't
definitely
confirm
told
nor
me.
deny, but I would guess that
I
I'm
think-
probably leaning towards the cartoon.
That sounds like the ultimate insult, though. Like, can you imagine?
Like
you
someone,
know,
like the cartoon version of you is hotter.
Honestly, though, I don't know if you guys know this, but years ago, the three of us were tattooed on someone's buttock.
I forgot about
So I did too, and then I whipped out Hinge last night for the first time in a while, and I realized that one of my things is a 2 truths and a lie, and that's on there. And because I forget until people respond, and they all think that's a lie, and I'm like,
But I think the animated version of myself on this man's butt cheek is far more beautiful than I am in
Yeah.
person.
We
yeah,
were
no,
all
I
very
agree.
symmetrical.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that happened.
I
like,
know.
When's the last time you guys talked to Mitch? Is
I
that
know.
weird?
Haven't
I haven't
talked
talked
to
to
Mitch
Mitch in a
Like, do you
while.
think when he got that like he thought that
like we were
Beauty
gonna be
Break was
forever
gonna,
friends?
yeah.
Should we take him to lunch?
I think so.
We should.
I think
we really owe him.
Yeah.
But now for the topic of this episode. We have been friends for a while, but we think that we would have been friends maybe as children.
No, you
Actually,
were too
maybe
cool.
you two would have been friends.
I would have been friends with
Yeah.
both of you, most definitely, I think.
You're friends
Jocelyn's
with
just smiling
everybody.
friends with everyone.
Yeah. Lily
But
would not
we're
have been
from
friends
different
with me.
generations. The question here is that we're going to be discussing today is that, yes, all of us have had somewhat of what the internet would refer to as glow-ups, perhaps. Probably about 20 years ago, your girl at least was living a very dark life. Very nerdy life, which I love nerds. I think nerds rule the world.
We definitely all had our quirks in our past, we'll say. For example, I wouldn't classify myself as this, but I feel like it's like
horse girl?
it's become like a trope in like the it's like, oh, the weird horse girl. I wasn't actually a weird horse girl, but I horseback ride and I loved horses. So
How do you know? You should ask. We should call some people.
I was like, if you're a weird horse girl.
No, a weird horse girl's also a look, because there have been some pictures, like throwback pictures I posted of myself, and people are like, wow, you look like a weird horse girl.
See, I never looked like the weird horse girl, but I was inside.
Yeah. And you played basketball.
That my sister was always really mean because I'd wear my basketball stuff to school to go to practice, and she'd be like, that's what you're wearing, and she would just like judge me so much, and I'm like, what if I just really like basketball shorts?
But you were always cute though. In high school,
Adorable.
You
Tiny,
looked like
teeny little
Lauren.
weenie.
Like if Laguna Beach came to your school, you would have been on the show.
I just looked pretty much the same, like all through, like from birth, and then I think I finally like grew up a little bit in the
when you
last
had
like
to dye
4
your hair.
years. Yeah.
I think though, to clarify to you guys what the topic is, today we are revealing like our inner nerdness, like our nerdy roots, like where we actually came from, and hopefully these are things you guys don't already know about. You were actually involved in some pretty interesting stuff.
I
Meghan.
was, and there's one that we didn't even, you guys didn't even touch on, but I just want to know.
Oh, I could name a
think you
bunch
probably
of
could.
weird ones, but you did a lot of plays and like,
Theater nerd,
yeah.
which was probably the coolest thing about it.
Very
Wasn't
cool.
there-
I love Glee.
and you went to a theater camp.
With Tom Plumley.
Exactly,
Plumley,
yeah.
T-Plums.
There was another, like you did like another class.
There was a hobby that I had for a lot of years.
Writing
Really?
fan fiction.
Stop. Stop. Please tell me that your
For
fanfic
what?
is still online.
Harry Potter?
Obviously.
Yeah,
I
but that's it?
don't know how to get it off. So I don't know where it is.
So your fan fiction is still on
But
the
I don't
internet?
know. I
It
remember
lives
my
somewhere,
username. My
but-
username had to be something like Lily Potter because I was like obsessed, or like Meg Potter.
Is that how you got your book
No,
deal?
I don't know that my editor.
That's
knows that.
you submitted your samples and
I
they're like,
wonder
what
if
is
I
this?
feel like I will tell them, and they'll be like, "We're gonna need to retract publishing."
Can we take a step back and talk about what is LARPing?
LARPing is live action role play.
What does that mean?
Megan's from NorCal also, so she had like a lot of like open land,
Like
that she
fields
or like
and things.
forests
Yeah.
and stuff that they
We
would
would get
like
drunk there.
Go
We
get
would go
high.
LARPing there.
So imagine that as the setting for this.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. One of my best friends, Jake, he was like super into Lord of the Rings. My best friend Sydney was also into Lord of the Rings. I don't think I've ever seen the full Lord of the
Feels
Rings.
like you would like it.
I think I would too.
Long. It's a big commitment.
I was
Do you
also
think that's a problem
So no, I need content all the
She's
time.
like, sorry, I'm busy. She
yeah,
doesn't leave her house for
I
a
was just
week.
very boy crazy at that time, so I just think like I probably watched it and I was like, I'm gonna make out with my boyfriend instead.
With your boyfriend's dad?
No,
Instead.
Oh, I was like, is that part of that
I did
series?
date a guy in high school though whose dad was like certified.
DILF?
Really
DILF.
didn't know where that was going.
Oh no, did not know. But literally all of the moms and all of the kids were like, would 10 out of 10 would have.
Get it.
Like
He could get it.
he could get it. Honestly, I bet he could still get it.
Okay, so back to LARPing.
You just like play as these characters. Like you don't have to do a lot of creative things. You
Like,
can
because
just-
the characters already exist,
yeah,
so then you're...
and all those relationships already exist. It was just like acting and no one was paying us or watching.
Wait, have you ever done like Settlers of Catan, Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, Kelsey Dara
Any of
plays
those
Settlers.
games?
I've always wanted to play it.
Oh
It's
my
like
God, we
should do
$50.
it. Oh.
That she like brings it on vacations and stuff.
I've heard it's really fun. I want to play
I heard
it.
it's also very complicated though, and she's told me she was going to teach me a few times, and then like someone else will bail, and she'll be like, "Oh well, everyone else already knows how to play." And it's like,
Oh, I guess I'm not. Or Magic the Gathering. I don't even know what that is.
oh,
but it
people used to
sounds
play that in
fun.
high
in the
school.
fourth quarter.
Yep.
You don't even know what that means, but you know what
I
it
was like,
means.
but we had an
Yeah.
equivalent. There was like that little quad. that
Fourth
was
quarter
like,
kids would play Dungeons and Dragons and Magic.
Fourth corner.
Fourth quarter, we had like 4 corridors in high school, and then the fourth one was like just really dark and by the creek, and like
That's literally, it was like our like lunch tables that are like the furthest away. Yeah.
Wait, were either of you guys ever in band?
elementary school I took flute, but I kept passing out because I was using so much. So then I had to do the final whatever concert, and so my teacher was like, "You can't keep doing this," and so I just had to pretend to do it. And be like,
You
Oh my
were
God.
a pretend flautist.
Yeah,
I always think now, Lizzo is
Lizzo.
an accomplished
icon.
flautist. But I wonder if she's like inspiring little girls to want to play the flute now.
I sure hope so. I think she's so
such
inspiring.
strong lungs.
I played the violin.
Okay, here's the thing.
poor
You
mother.
only literally brought up that you played the violin like 6 weeks ago. I've never known or seen photos or seen receipts. If I bring you a violin, will you play me a song?
Hot cross
Oh,
buns.
I don't think I could play anything now.
Were you good?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think I was not bad, but it was only because I practiced so much because I was like, well, better be f***ing good if I'm gonna do it. But then I was like so over it, and then it was time for middle school, and it was like,
Not cool.
only nerds do orchestra, so then I quit.
I
did
think
you
I
play?
win for having
Triangle?
Close.
So my parents never put me in sports as a
Same.
kid at all. Like didn't even know they existed. Totally fine with it. Whatever. I did all like artistic sort of things. Yes, we actually have some of the props. Thank you, Lisa, so much. So when I was in elementary school, first off, I looked really, super special.
You look identical.
But starting around like age 8, things took a really dark turn for me. First off, I was very into reading books.
Ooh,
I
me too.
lived for books. I also was a competitive handbell player. And I was in
This is the first time the word competitive has been used.
Oh yeah, we would go to competitions. I was in not just the handbell choir, I was in the elite handbell choir. We would go to competitions and we'd be like, these losers, they have nothing on us. We'd put on our little white gloves and we'd like stretch out and then we would boing those bells all over the place and win every competition ever. And we would do things like
boing
this.
those bells a technical term?
And then we would go like this, silence it. Okay, so quickly, we have to segue into something that was a huge part of your childhood.
Yes.
And actually, I did some musical theater as well. Not on the level of you, as we know, it's not my calling. But like when we were kids growing up, musical theater like wasn't as cool as it is now because there weren't shows like Glee and like a lot of attention in movies and from like stars who support musical theater. And now it's like hip. What was your experience like growing up as a theater kid?
Well, I say that like the first sense of like me deciding that I was going to be an actor is all it was all a mistake because the first play that you could do when we were in elementary school was 3rd grade. That was when you were allowed to do the plays. We were Munchkins in The Wiz.
Oh, The Wiz, ease on down the road.
Oh, ease on down the road.
Come on and ease on down the road.
Every Munchkin got one line.
Right.
Day 1, they forgot to give me a line.
No.
Day 2, they give me 2 lines. I don't think in my mind, wow, they forgot to give me a line. They're making up for it. I was like,
I'm so good, I get 2.
So talented. I was like, I'm an actor. Like, thank you all so much. I'm so happy I could grace you with my presence. And that's like when it started. And then I went on and did Annie. I played Duffy, the big orphan was how she was described.
But honestly, your musical theater thing I think really has paid off because now you're actually like a working actress.
I mean, maybe it's related. I don't know if it is.
It definitely is.
Oh,
But
that's
by
so
high school,
funny.
you had really like turned a corner.
Well, because middle school was a learning time. So I went from like literally having like 10 to 20 people, like probably 10 to 15 people in my class, to having like 35 or something. So it was like a shock. So the first day of 6th grade, I showed up wearing thigh-high rainbow toe socks with platform white flip-flops. I think I might have had like some sort of like pink tutu skirt
Ooh,
on.
what a moment.
Some like
Very as if like a 5-year-old was like, Mom, can I get ready for school? It's like, wear whatever
I was
you want.
doing JoJo Siwa before JoJo Siwa.
Oh my gosh, maybe you inspired her.
Honestly, maybe, except I didn't do bows. Take in mind, I also wore like a leather, I would rotate between a leather jacket, a blue cheetah print zip-off fleece vest.
Ooh.
I definitely had some arm sleeves on, like very Avril Lavigne, but everything was covered in political pins. I had my messenger bag. I had my transition lenses that went never light, never dark,
Lisa had
always
those too.
rose tinted. I wore a tiara,
was
like
my favorite.
full, I was obsessed with Princess Diana, like full tiara every day.
Had she passed?
I was
That's how you found out
I was
who she
obsessed with like Titanic too. I was just like,
I was
and
obsessed
like,
with Titanic too.
I also was like very fat. I was just really into like sad stuff.
Why
Had
are
a
you
child.
not wearing this now is my main question.
Well,
I would love that.
I got pulled into the principal's office after a couple weeks that I was next to a lot of girls who had developed early and were wearing bras and tank tops, and we were all there being asked to change our looks on a day-to-day basis because we were distracting the other students.
Oh.
So tits were distracting, you know. These
So
Even
were
in
rainbow
sixth
toe
grade.
socks.
It was the tiara. The tiara was getting a lot of press around school, so I wasn't allowed to wear that anymore. But it's honestly, I'm so glad that not only did it build character, and I was just like so weird and like didn't even care, except then I got to middle school and I really cared. It's also how my best friend Cindy and I became friends, because we were the two ugliest girls in Mrs. Wells' 6th grade class, and I just looked at her from across the room with her lime green braces and her frizzy loaf ponytail and her Lucky Brand sweatshirt with like zip covered in like rainbow butterflies zipped all the way up, and her like all of the wires and the rubber bands.
Cindy's so
The
cute.
rubber
And I
bands.
was just like, we gotta
You're
stick
my
together.
person.
And we did, and then we just became funny, and then no one was mean to us. We got invited to like popular girls' like birthday parties. Like I think it might have been like a joke.
You know what though I love is in Tina Fey's book Bossy Pants, which if you haven't read, you should, even if you're not a reader. She talks about, she has 2 little girls, and she's like, I hope that my daughters have
unibrow.
mustaches. She's like, I hope they have mustaches till they're 15, because then they'll just have to learn how to be funny. And I was like, you know what? I kind of like that, because like for sure me and my sister were like being weird, still are, but like you're forced to develop kind of other aspects that are way more important to your personality than anything else.
And you like in like formidable years of my life, like I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be one of those like really cute, pretty girls. And so it wasn't even like a thing I thought about all the time. I was just like, oh, I'm not gonna be like that. Like I'm gonna be funny instead. And so I didn't think about it. It wasn't like you're trying so desperately to like fit in and like, because I wasn't getting validated for being cute, because like I wasn't cute. Like everyone's like, you're funny, and I was like, this is the way. Okay, let me search for these.
You were
compliments.
always a cute nug.
Yeah.
But that's,
A
I don't
little
feel like
nugget.
I just was like lucky, so that I never had like a severely awkward phase. But I even remember like, especially like early high school, I always had a lot of guy friends, and my sister would be like, you're wearing that, when they'd be coming over, and I'm like, yeah. Like what do you, obviously, like we're going to do this, and she'd be like, okay, well, like guys like aren't gonna like you, basically. And I was always like, well, they do.
Who
So,
cares?
bye. And
Who
I was just so like, I didn't think about it either way though. I wasn't like, I'm
You
not
just
gonna
happened to
try.
look
It was
prettier
just like,
while not caring.
Which is the actual most, I think,
Yeah.
attractive quality that guys do like once you're like older.
Yeah.
For sure. But look at you now. You blossoming.
Nose job
I always
later.
do wonder though with you specifically, because I feel like you did have such a distinct.
Do you want to know when
glow
my
up.
specific glow up was?
What?
My specific glow up happened, and it's so funny because like in the scheme of glow ups, like I don't look like I did that like now. So like it was a small glow up, but it was like big for the time.
Right.
And it was summer between junior year and senior year. And I had my first kiss. I like
girl.
did all the other stuff too, all within like
All
a
one fell swoop.
different people, all very, very quick. But I had like gone to camp or whatever, and I came back and I remember
Camp, such a
I
dangerous
know
place.
me and Tom
That's
Plumley.
literally like out of a movie. It's like she got back from camp and she was hot.
Yeah, and I had this one like popular guy at school who was like told me I looked freshman year. He told me I looked like the book version of Hermione, and I said thank you, and he's like, it's not a compliment.
What?
It's okay. He's like
That is a
really,
compliment.
You're like, I write fan fiction.
I
That
know.
is a compliment.
He was like really nice to me now, but I remember he saw me the picture day like before school even started, and he was like, wow, damn, like summer did you good, and I was like, it happened. I've glowed up. I've glowed up.
But that
And it
totally
yeah.
always was the goal, that it's like you see people and you're like, you
Yes.
wanted to look really different.
And
Like,
then he tried to ask me when my other boyfriend and I broke up like 2 days before prom, and he like asked another girl with a song in front of me, and like everyone thought we were still together, and so half his friends sang my name, and except we like had broken up, and like it was very dramatic.
very uncomfortable.
Very.
promposal. Let's
Oh,
talk about
that was a proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I was like trying to find a date, one of my friends was like, oh, like he wants to ask you, and I was like, no. He said this about me. She's like, yeah, he does not remember it all. I was like, I don't forget. And so I was like, no, you can't have it.
I want to talk about promposal.
Yeah,
Did
did
you
you-
guys ever ask anyone or have someone ask you?
Both.
I was the biggest bitch in the world about promposals.
No way.
Because I had this boyfriend in high
Oh.
school, and I was like, obviously we're going to like the dances together. And he was older and he'd graduated, and I would still be like, you still have to ask me. Even
So
though
he's
you
like
don't-
a college kid coming up with
And I would be like,
Can I go to the dance
and
with
it would
you?
like
Not
have to
even-
be, I mean, like, what a bitch, my gosh, right?
No, I would probably
I
wouldn't.
would have done the same thing.
And I would be like, and it better be cute. And poor
Well,
guy.
he's in college. He's
He's like,
has
I'm
had
busy
more
in college. He like would make me like a puzzle. Like you could get like a puzzle
Like a
made,
picture?
and it would be like, will you go to prom with me? And like, I mean, I'm like, duh, yeah. I can't remember. My sister had a guy who asked her on a styrofoam soda. He was
my
like,
worst fear.
just like handed her a soda, and she was like, oh, thanks for the soda.
like,
And then it
"Read
was
it."
like in like weird pen writing, will you go to homecoming or prom or whatever with me?
But I went to prom junior and senior year. It's senior prom, so I went
Right.
with a senior junior that was like just a friend, and I like actually didn't really want to go. like
it's prom.
I didn't want to go with him.
Yeah,
Because I thought
just
he
wanna
might
go have
like
your
me. I
own
was like,
fun.
we were friends. I like didn't want to.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to ruin
Yeah.
my prom by like
Yeah.
having one before. We were kind of neighbors, and he knew my family too. So like my mom let him into the house to
Shut
leave it.
up.
So it was like
Oh,
I got out of class
gosh.
one day, and I had a text that was like, hey, there's like something waiting for you. And I'm like, oh God. And I got there, and it was chocolate covered strawberry, like tuxedo strawberries,
Aw.
and it said prom in the middle, and it was like on my bed, and I'm like,
Cute.
it's cute. Okay, fine.
Fine. So what about your proposal, Megan? Did you have one?
I was like, wait, but I had a really other
yeah, wait, you had another one?
So then there was like the one for my senior year. My friend was dating someone from another high school, so he was coming to her prom, and it was their prom was like a week before, and his friend needed a date. So they were like, oh my God, Lily, that'd be so fun if you come. So they basically like arranged so I could go, so
How
like we could all
fun.
just hang out. I have not talked to this guy since I think prom. I think we ran into each other once after, but we went to each other's proms, and that was pretty much it. His name was Neil. Which
Neil.
I don't think I've ever met anyone named Neil.
I
in my
know someone
entire
named
life.
Neil Chavez.
But it was actually like one of the sweetest things ever. Cause like obviously in high school I was the one that was making everyone's video projects for them. So it's like if anyone had a class project,
Yeah.
it was like, Lily, can you help? So
Some things never change.
right.
Never change.
So I remember it was my friend's boyfriend and one of their girlfriends came over because they had a class project. So they give me like a tape of footage to like put on my computer, start playing it. And it's something that they had filmed. So it's like not a class project. And I'm like, and I just woken up from a nap. I'm so mad. I like don't want to do it. And I start playing it. I'm like, what is this? And they'd
How
acted out this
cute.
whole little thing of my friend's boyfriend and the guy like talking about how we had like when we had met and like how he's gonna ask, and then he's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna ask your prom. And then all of a sudden there was a knock at the door and he was downstairs and was
Where
holding
is
a
Neil?
rose.
Where is Neil?
I don't know.
And where is Neil?
I don't know.
I bet he follows you on Instagram.
You guys, find Neil.
Find Neil. Where is
find
Neil?
Okay, we don't have to. But yeah, so that was mine.
You guys, find Neil, please.
Please find Neil.
It's okay.
No, that's really
How
cute.
was yours?
Juniors and seniors, they could both go to prom. And so my junior year, it was kind of how my boyfriend at the time, how him and I got together was I was helping another girl, helping him ask another girl to prom and not realizing like, why am I so sad? And then my friend like drunk dialed him, was like, you're like, Megan's in love with you. And then she called me and told me, I was like, no, I'm not. And she's like, well, I'm sorry I did it, but like, you totally are. And I was like, no, I'm not. She's like, no, you 100% are. Like, I'm really sorry I did this, but like, FYI, I thought you knew. And I was like, no, I didn't know. And so he ended up coordinating with a couple of our other friends to ask me to prom, and I thought he was still gonna ask this other girl.
How cute.
She then sent me death threats on Formspring. TBT to
Formspring.
Formspring.
Like that really dates when you were in.
Yeah, she like fully was like,
I
I'm gonna
definitely
kill
missed that.
you. And she was a senior and we were juniors. And he asked me he was like, hey, will you walk me? We were gonna go to Bagels, Barton's Bagels for lunch. And he was like, would you walk me to like my car? And I was like, no, because we were like best friends. And I was like, I'm gonna go to lunch. He was like, well, no, just like I have something in my car, like I need to go get before like we go to lunch. I'm like, I'll just meet you there. Like, I'm not gonna walk with you. He's like, no, please come on, like really fast. And I was like, okay, fine. And I was like being all like annoyed and like rolling my eyes. And we like walk past like the library like window display or whatever. And he like stops. And I was like, are we gonna go to your car or not? And then he's like, oh, turn around. And he had I loved gummies at the time. It was like the only thing that would like keep my ADHD brain like studying. I would like reward myself with gummy worms. By the way, I didn't eat a lot of them because I was not good at history. And that was what I used them for. And he had this giant like 30-pound gummy bear that was dressed up in like a Build-A-Bear tuxedo, and he had redone the entire like display, and it was like on a platform, and there was like streamers everywhere, and it says Megan Prom. It was cute, and I still have that. I think I have that little poster somewhere. Not here.
gosh.
Yeah, it was really cute.
Doing good.
And then senior year, he and I broke up like 2 days before, or like maybe like a week before prom. And he like asked the other girl with a song, very dramatic.
That
it was also
sucks.
the girl who we used to write the fan fiction for each other. Very awkward.
Oh my gosh,
I know.
it's
We were
so
friends.
many
It's fine.
layers.
It's cool. It's whatever. She lives in LA.
That's what you
now.
get for going to a small school.
Honestly, very true. And so then the other guy who ended up asking me, he purposefully asked me in the class that we had with my ex-boyfriend, and
Fun.
he brought like flowers in, and it was great.
Ooh, I like
He
a
was
I loved it.
revenge
And I was like-
moment.
Yeah, I was really into it.
Tell us about yours.
Yeah, so I had the puzzle. My mom told me this freshman year. She's like, if a guy asks you out on a dance, like to a dance, if you make an excuse like, oh, I have a family thing or I can't go, she's like, you can't say yes to someone else.
Yeah.
You can't go with someone else. You can't lie. Also, the other savage rule that my parents had my entire life was, if a guy asks you out, I had no rules about like what age I could start dating or anything. It could be like 8th grade. They have to come to our house
No.
on another evening before you say yes. So if a guy asked me on a date, I would say this. I would love to go on a date with you, but first you have to come to my parents' house this week for a whole night, and then I'm allowed to say yes or no to you.
So they can,
and
like, get a good
guys
feel for what they're
would
like.
be shook. Only once did I bring someone to my house that I truly thought my dad was going to murder, and my dad was just like staring, because my dad is very intimidating.
Really?
And
I don't get that vibe from
well,
your
but
dad
at the
at
time
all.
he was a
He
high
can,
school,
like-
and at the time he was like a high school principal, and everyone was like
Oh,
scared of
okay,
him
okay.
at the rival high school.
So sweet.
Now he's living
Phil's
his retired
great
dreams.
now.
And it's
True.
just
But yeah, they would have to come over for every dance, any date, anything, like 3 nights before, and just spend an evening at the Davis house, having
my
dinner,
God.
hanging out, playing with the little siblings. My brother Wes was a child. My brother was
I would've died
literally
of
like
virgin.
7
I've been
years
like
old.
that
He was
happening.
like a little kid, and yeah, no one ever said no to coming to do
Wow.
that, which is very sweet. Well, I think it's safe to say that once you're a nerd, like it sticks with you. Like, what is the nerdiest thing both of you do now? What is the nerdiest thing about all of us right now that perhaps we've never even shared with the world?
I feel like you do pretty normal things. Like
You do normal things, but you do them weird.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Like
true.
you like it's not like you have any like weird hobbies or interests.
but the things I
or-
do are
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, okay, I guess you
Yeah.
could do it like
Like
that.
when I go to work out almost every day, I do wear my pajamas.
Yeah.
I feel like I do a lot of nerdy things, but probably just that I'll like one that I like really like editing so much
You
that
do.
like rather than going out, like I truly enjoy, like if we filmed something that I like thought was funny and that I was excited about, I would rather like go home and work on that than go like do something social. The nerdiest thing I've done is made an editing friend.
Yes, that's
Like that
cute,
lives in
though.
Florida by just being like watching his tutorials and being like, I really love all of your presets. Like they're really good. And he followed me back on Twitter and I must have been drunk and was just like, your tutorials are really great. And then we just like became friends and we
I
just
love
text
that.
about our Adobe problems.
What about you?
I don't consider it nerdy, but like of course I still stand the Jonas Brothers.
Well, yes, that's
Well,
come full circle.
I feel like that's very popular. That's fine now.
But like I really, I mean, me and Lisa both can really be one of those people that I'm like, you came on in the beginning.
You're not a
like,
bandwagon
I'm
fan.
not a bandwagon fan at all.
You have a photo with them that's
do.
like one of
Insert
the
here.
most liked photos.
Yeah,
on
when
the
and then I
internet.
fainted in Big Rob. I woke up in Big Rob's arm feeling like it's okay. It happens all the time.
Big Rob. Oh
know.
my gosh. Where is Big Rob
Well,
now?
like I did see him at the premiere of Chasing Happiness.
Of course you were there.
Big Rob. Of course, yeah.
You do like a lot of things that, like elderly people like.
Yes.
Like
I love
even
to knit.
I feel like the term nerdy has kind of lost its definition because back in the day it would be like nerdy meant like smart kids.
Yeah, which
which
I
like
wasn't.
now that's like you want to be smart. So it's like not like a
Totally.
negative thing.
Maybe I was just a loser because I wasn't that
It's when
smart.
I would say like I guess if we were classifying what a nerd would be
Yeah.
like super passionate about something that not most people are passionate about.
Yeah. Okay.
But now I think like nerd culture, geek culture has made being a nerd like really,
Yeah.
really, really cool.
Well, because
and
when you say
Spider-Man,
nerd
that's the
culture,
other
then
one
I
that
think
I'm
of like
excited
comic
Spider-Man?
book stuff.
Oh, are you a
I'm-
comic, a graphic novel fan?
No, I'm obsessed. I love Marvel like movies, but like I am like
I actually
I'm a
think
die-
that's probably it because
I'm a
it's very
diehard
unexpected.
Spider-Man.
Well, you're
fan.
dating a Marvel Avenger.
I
That's
know.
why.
But I really do. Like I'm just obsessed with Spider-Man. Like we pre-order tickets. Like I'm obsessed.
What was it about him that you liked? His web, his shooters?
My favorite thing about Spider-Man was the fact that like I don't love, no offense, I mean whatever, take offense, Batman, but like I don't love. I feel like I'm such,
You're not into the
No, I'm
DC.
sorry.
We're like, who?
You're not
No,
really.
but, like-
You're not a DC fan.
Well,
you're
also
more
like
of a
Batman,
Marvel
like
fan.
it's like when people just buy, like, oh, he doesn't have any superpowers. He's just like his superpowers. He's super rich, and then he gets all this cool tech. The cool
Yeah.
thing about Spider-Man, like he didn't ask for his powers.
They were placed upon
I hate
him.
you.
Yeah.
And on top of it, he was like a high school kid, and he's like super lanky, and like he gets stuff wrong, and like it was just accessible. And also, he was always hot. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and then I mean, I was like young enough and he was older enough that it was just like an. Like,
I've never understood his appeal.
now when I look back, I think he looks like on crack.
Tom
and, like,
Holland
not-
is the cute.
And he's adorable.
What a cutie.
And
Yeah.
his lip sync battle when he did Umbrella.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I stand you forever.
I just saw a
For
clip
sure.
of him.
He's a great
at
dancer.
He was with Zendaya, and it was like showing him doing pirouettes, and then
Yep.
it like pans over to her, and she's just like,
I think he was Billy Elliot.
Yeah,
on
he was
Broadway.
on Broadway or whatever it is in London, East
West
End or
End?
West End. Yep.
Those are probably in Harry Potter. I'm still like obsessed.
Maybe you'll be in like one of those like
Don't.
ongoing film
Don't.
situations.
Don't.
I'm throwing it out there. I would like that.
It's my
J.K. Rowling, if you're watching, please cast Meghan in one of your adaptations. Well, I feel like we're at the point in time when yes, we could go on and talk to you for hours upon hours, which we will. But it's time, Megan, for the rapid fire.
Which isn't much of a rapid fire because we usually ask follow-up questions or answer them
I watched
ourselves.
last
but,
time.
you know.
I know. I'm gonna try to be good. Okay, first rapid fire. Childhood item you couldn't live without.
Oh, I had a stuffed puppy dog named Puppy.
Wow,
Original.
And my dad sent it to me for my birthday or Christmas a couple of years ago. And
Oh, this is a new thing.
no, I had this my whole life, but he sent me the old one.
Got it.
But
You
then I
have
had
it
to
here.
ask him. Yeah, he was like my favorite stuffed animal, and so I still have like a stuffed animal I sleep with now. But his name
Is
is
that
Teddy.
Mott's?
No.
Oh, you
I
actually
have a teddy
are one of
bear.
those. You've always had
Yeah.
weird stuffed
Yeah,
animals.
I know. I was. Yeah.
What do
I was
you
a
do?
weird
Do
kid.
you like nestle
I
it
just hug
amongst
it.
your neck?
It's cute. It's a little teddy bear named Swag.
Do you bring it on trips?
If I think I'm going to be like highly anxious, I will, because like a gravity blanket is like 15, 20 pounds to fly with.
Which I genuinely thought about bringing.
I thought about just carrying it on the plane as my
I was
carry-on.
like, it would be nice on the plane too,
know.
but like then
so
like it's just so heavy.
But yeah, so sometimes I'll bring it. Not always. Usually I overpack.
Next question is, do you wash your legs?
No. My legs get washed, but I don't
you
wash
don't
them.
actively wash
This
them.
I would like to because I got
Yep.
I mentioned I was like really
Who
specifically
started
that
this
feels
meme-
really
like,
weird.
this
It's like a
meme
weird
thing?
question. I don't know.
It
I didn't
was
know
Taylor
it was.
Swift.
I
was
remember
on
that, but I
Ellen.
think that's
And that was my origin with it.
Okay.
And it is a good question. I mean, do you just let the soap cleanse you from the top down, or do you actually reach down and loofah or wash your legs with soap? And the feet. Grace was very
oh, I
adamant
wash
about-
my feet all the time.
You
I
do.
take so many baths that, and it's usually after I shower.
Yep.
That I feel like also
You're
I'm like
cleansed.
shaving. Like they're not dirty. Someone was like, "Oh my God, Joslyn needs to have a talk with Lily." That's so.
Well,
gross."
if you
I'm like,
shave your legs, you are like you're exfoliating
yeah,
everything off.
I don't know. I just don't think of it as like going to be like, "Oh, have I cleaned my calves yet?" Like
Yeah.
that feels weird.
Describe your teenage self in 3 words.
Ooh, weird. Harry Potter.
That's not.
It's one word.
So those are
It's
3 words.
hyphenated.
Weird Harry
Okay.
Potter.
Weird. It's
Hyphenated
Harry Potter.
news to me.
Side bangs.
Swoopy bangs.
Also not-
Swoopy bangs,
not a
which
hyphenated.
it's hyphenated. And I really like long curly hair, and of course like straight swoopy bangs.
I remember
Yeah.
them. What's the quadratic formula?
E equals MC squared.
Nope.
Foil, first in or out or last?
No, that's polynomials, isn't it?
Anyway, no one knows.
Okay, next one. Go-to background TV show. Just to like
Ooh.
have on in your midst.
Either anything on the Food Network or Friends.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't say GG, Gilmore Girls.
But I can't, that's not like a background.
Yeah, that's like an active
I'm hooked.
watch.
But the thing is, Gilmore just makes me feel cozy inside.
Oh, 100%.
you
But I
know?
also like, I don't love watching it out of order. Like if I want to watch it and then just like
You're
finish the whole
right.
series
True.
again.
Jess or Dean?
Logan.
Ooh.
I hate
Wild
myself
card.
clearly. He's obviously the absolute worst one for her and a terrible bad boy. And I'm like, well,
No, but he's so cute.
it's my jam.
Pants or no pants when you're home?
I'm more of like a sweatpants on,
Like
nothing
a
on
lounge
top.
wear. Ooh.
Like tits out, sweatpants on.
I'm opposite.
I know. I feel like it's very odd. It's also like definitely like you look like a rom-com. It's way cuter. I just look like a half of a Demogorgon with like sweatpants up to here and just boobs out. It's not cute. And also I make eye contact with so many neighbors as I'm like doing the dishes.
That's another
like,
thing that we've
Both
talked
of
about
you
is
two
that
need to
I like
get
never
blinds
shut
on
the
your
blinds.
own.
No,
'Cause I'm like, I don't care,
I
whatever.
have blackout curtains, but sometimes it gets too dark. So then I
Yeah.
open them a little bit and like everyone can see straight in.
Your neighbors are both very lucky people.
I mean, I don't think anyone's looking at the houses across the street from me are
That's
empty.
what you think. That's what you think.
No,
I'm just telling
they've
you.
all seen me naked.
Are you an LOL or haha type of texter?
I'm either a LOL or a ha 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 ha.
Oh, great.
I think I usually go more towards a ha 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 than a LOL.
I feel like LOL is so much easier to type. I think that's why I'm a LOL type of person. Sometimes I use them together.
Yeah.
I feel like I do both, and then if something's actually really funny, I'll either do a capital LOL or a bunch of ha-has.
Oh,
But
good to
I
know.
always,
A capital LOL, I've really made you laugh.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Okay, last rapid fire in this great rapid fire we're doing.
So speedy.
How many meals
we
do
should
you
start calling it just like a slow burn.
Welcome to fire. If I'm cooking, obviously not Postmating, and then if it's Mott's turn to cook, then that means we're probably gonna Postmate.
But do you go to the grocery store to buy your groceries? Because I'll either Postmate or Instacart my groceries.
You like
grocery
going to the
shop-
grocery
yeah,
store.
because we grocery shop every weekend.
Oh, and you have
so we
someone to go with.
Yeah,
so
when I
it
was
makes it
single
more fun.
and like didn't like when people come up to the grocery store and be like, "Hi, can I have your number?" And you're like, "You're 80." I would Instacart.
That's
Always
totally
the
the
grocery
reason
store.
that I don't go to the grocery store because so many people ask me
No,
for my number.
my grocery store's near me. I'm not into it.
Where do you shop?
Trader Joe's.
Great.
Ralph's occasionally. I like their almond cashew milk better.
Ooh.
And Whole Foods, Hot Bar, all about it.
Ooh.
But yeah, we'll post maybe once a week. Sometimes if I'm like not in the mood to cook. If I'm not in the mood to cook, maybe more.
To send us off, for my birthday, 3 years
long
ago?
time
More than
ago.
4, because
4
Matt's
years
and I work
ago,
together.
yeah. We went to Arizona where I went to school, and I don't even know who we
Squad, you, me, Audrey.
Me, her, and my friend Audrey drove out, and on the way back,
Thank God, way back. That would
oh,
have
I'm
been
not
a
even,
really way
I'm
to
skipping
kick off
ahead
the
to even
birthday
another part of
weekend.
the story. It was definitely on our way back that we were super hungover and we were leaving in the morning. She wanted, and like when you're hungover, you want like your comfort food.
Yes.
I wasn't hungover.
Yeah, Megan doesn't drink. She just wanted rotisserie chicken.
Yeah,
I
I
wanted
was
my comfort
hungry.
food, so I wanted In-N-Out. She got rotisserie chicken before we go to In-N-Out.
A whole chicken.
In like one of the bags that wasn't like one of the like containers. So she's sitting in the drive. She's driving us. So she's pulls into the drive-through, and the person at In-N-Out, they're always like outside of the car. So she's like literally like pulling like meat off the carcass of
back
this
so
chicken.
that we can talk, because I'm like,
She's
don't
just
mind
like,
me.
it's fine. She's like all greasy, and I'm like dying, like about to throw up, and I'm like, oh, can I get a double? And the girl just goes, Megan? And Megan just was like,
With like tons of just pieces of chicken.
Just
dangling over
oily.
it.
yeah, so greasy. And she's, I'm a huge fan. And Megan's like, and then the rest of the drive ended with like Audrey making us laugh really hard, and then
And I was
she
drinking
like
the bubbly thing, and then
threw up, peed at the. It was just very.
Sounds like a wonderful trip. A
rough
great
car ride.
vacation.
it was so fun.
Wow. Well, Megan, this has been really, really fun, and we just have one last thing to say to you. Thank you for sharing.
Does anyone else get what that's from? Or
What's
what
it
in the
from?
tone
Are you
of the
saying
voice
thank
is?
you?
Oh,
Yeah.
are you thinking of?
Someone was like, you should just say like, thank you for being here today, like Princess Diaries. I was like, but that would be the Princess
Exactly.
Diaries. We
This
need
is
our
the
own
parody
thing.
of not
Thank
yeah.
you for sharing. We're not even doing.
Thank
like-
you.
Yeah,
for
but this
sharing.
would be a little too aggressive.
Thank
I
you
think.
for
Also, I don't know.
But is
if
it creepy?
anyone
Do you
will
like
get
it?
I love it.
I think people get it.
No, because I sign off my channel most of the time with "Thank you for being here today," and I've asked like several people, and none of they're like, "What is
How
that from?"
sad.
And I'm like,
That's so sad.
"Cool."
Wow. Well,
Lisa's
seriously,
doing it.
seriously though, thank you
Because
so
my
much
favorite
for
thing-
sharing.
And then they do when they both
Yeah,
go back.
It's so good.
Thank you for sharing.
Oh my gosh. I feel
Congrats
like
on your upcoming book.
Thanks.
She has
Congrats
a
on
bunch
your-
of exciting things
Yeah.
happening.
It's very exciting. All of her links are in the info section, but let's face it, if you're here, you already know who she is because she's far more famous than us.
No, I'm a phantom. People are like, I forgot she existed.
Oh my god. Okay, the episode is over. Goodbye.
Goodbye!
We don't have our cameraman today, so you're not gonna walk out. So we just have to cut
So
it now.
just go away.
Just bye.
Bye.